It seems nowadays that all anybody cares about from this franchise are the minions, Bob, Banana, Mikey, whatever the hell they're called. But today we're taking things back to 2010, a simpler time. A time where blue furries ran around in trees. People said, wow, it's not 2009 anymore, and Despicable Me dropped, giving us today's villain Vector. Welcome back to Villain Review, the only series on YouTube that reviews villains with both direction and magnitude. Scale 1 to 10, how good of a villain is Vector? Let's find out.
Because I'm committing crimes with both direction and magnitude. Oh yeah!
Vector is a nepotism baby, and that's about all we know. He wants to steal the moon, like he's Admiral Zhao or something, but we never really learn why. We can make assumptions like, oh, maybe he's trying to make Daddy proud, or maybe he hates Gru for some unspecified reason, but honestly, we don't really know that much about him. We do know that he's a pretty solid villain in the world though, but it's just because of all the gadgets and things like that. I don't think we ever really see him pull off any actual good schemes. In fact, I'd say the opposite. He's pretty dumb. Honestly, I think not getting more of a motive hurts the character a lot because I don't feel any interest towards him, and he doesn't really bring anything to the movie. You could replace this villain with any other villain and it wouldn't change the plot really at all. They could have given us something, one potato chip to snack on, but instead we're left dying of thirst like Good Kid Mad City. I understand they have to set up all the main characters, so they might not have time for Vector, but they could have given us something. Come on, a few lines of dialogue, just like something to taste on. I'm starving over here.
Ha! Hey, Gru! Try this on for size.
Vector as a character kind of pulls things together, but not enough for me to consider him a good villain. He has some goofy phrases he throws around, and honestly, those can get a mild ha-ha out of me from time to time. The only thing about Vector I feel to be somewhat comical is just how aimless and nonchalant he is about things. He feels very much like a spoiled 7th grader who has too much money and time on their hands, and I like that you can feel he's a nepotism baby before they actually reveal it. Like watching the movie, I'm going, what the hell? This guy's dumber than the minions. How did he steal the pyramid? Oh, he's the son of rich crime daddy. That makes sense now. The fact that he stole the pyramid is also pretty funny, and even better, he has it painted with clouds like some backdrop from Disneyland. It's a funny gag that makes me smile internally whenever I see it, so kudos for that. I will say though, my favorite thing about the character is the fact that Jason Segel gives a pretty hilarious performance. When I first saw this movie, I didn't even realize it was him. Damn, okay, go off, Big Fudge, who are you? Steve Carell gets a lot of credit for his wacky Gru voice, and rightfully so, but Jason Segel does the same thing and doesn't get enough credit in my opinion. It's pretty funny.
Don't worry. The moon is as good as ours.
There's not one scene for Vector that comes across as instantly memorable. They all kind of have the same vibe of him being a goofball, and honestly, he's such a man baby. I find him incredibly annoying. I'm sure that's what they were going for, but it's not like he has any scenes where I'm itching to go back and rewatch them. His brief interactions with the girls, I suppose, are I guess the highlight, because it's just fun seeing somebody call him out on the goofiness he thinks in reality is super cool. His first scene just sets him up to be that weird kid who won't leave you alone at the lunch table, and his piranha gun makes it pretty clear he's not actually a smart character, and I'll give the movie credit for establishing that early, again setting up the quote-unquote twist later that he's actually a bum inheriting all his tech from his dad. Chase is with Victor whipping out puns and some chase lines we've heard in every chase scene ever. He then does what most little boys do, go in the bathroom, lock the door behind him, and whip it out to start playing around with, and that's of course his shrink ray. The reveal of Perkins being his dad does nothing for the movie. Really nothing changes now that we have that information. All it does is explain sort of why Vector has the tech he does and gives him a way of knowing Gru stole the shrink ray. The ending I'm not a huge fan of for Vector either. We don't really get a final confrontation between the two villains or anything like that. Vector just steers the ship, gets squished, and okay, now he's on the moon. What a lame way to go out.
Are you wearing pajamas?
These aren't pajamas. This is a warm-up suit.
The best part of Vector, in my opinion, is Jason Segel's performance, and outside of that, there's nothing about the character that really stays with me. We get nothing when it comes to setting up his motivations in the movie, and I feel like he's not even really a character in this movie kind of just a shell. He feels like if the writers had ChatGPT write the villain. He's annoying, but yeah, he's supposed to be, but since I don't find him funny at all, it doesn't make his scenes stand out to me. He adds nothing to the plot. You could switch this guy out with you, the viewer, and you can press the buttons. Nothing would change. It would play out exactly the same way it does. The plot twist doesn't matter at all, and he loses to Gru in an incredibly disappointing and anticlimactic way. He doesn't even lose to Gru, he just loses to himself. What the heck? Jason Segel does good though, and the "oh yeah" phrase is so repetitive, it's actually kind of funny by the end. Those are the two good things about the character. I'm gonna give Vector a 3.
Booyah! You got shrunk, Tiny Mouth Flash.
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Vector in the comments below, as well as who I should review next. I make a new villain review every single Monday, so hit me with a subscribe. I'm a smaller channel. Help a guy out. See you next time. Thanks for watching.